Welcome back to Twip Studios. Worth the Wait Part 1 is finally approaching, and with this, speculation is at an all-time high. Everything that has been confirmed for this update has been pretty straightforward, but recently, we've gotten a few things I want to look at today, specifically some new badges that have been added to the achievements section of Pressure's page. And hopefully, by the time this video comes out, the trailer hasn't dropped. But if you do want to see a video that has a pretty quick summary of everything coming to Worth the Wait Part 1, check out Dino Desmond's video on that subject. It covers basically everything you need to know, and some cool trivial stuff. And of course, like and sub, it helps a lot. And also join the Discord if you want to be caught up on the progress of my videos. Or if you like game nights, we do those sometimes, I think still, yeah. But with that, let's get into the main portion of this video. First, let's start off with the obvious additions to the badges. We'll be going one at a time to make things easier to digest. And we'll also be going from most confident to the least confident ones. By the end of these badges, you'll probably be wondering what I'm smoking, but nonetheless. Let's get into it with my most confident badge, Sewer Creature. I don't think I need to explain this one to casual Pressure players, but it is obviously a reference to Abomination by the name, and completing its grand encounter chase. If you didn't know, the scrapped and removed rooms called the Sewers were actually the starting portion of Abomination's encounter. That was literally the only reason they existed in the main game, before they were removed. Abomination's original chase was going to have us probably surf through the tunnels of Urban Shade's sewer system, with Abomination chasing behind. Not much is known about the original chase and how it would have worked, but we can assume Worth the Wait's version is way better since the OG was removed and all. Maybe it was a little too cliche, we really don't know that yet. I'm giving the clarity meter 5 Fuwadis out of 5. Yeah, everyone knows what a Fuwadi is. Next, we have Hard Carry, with the beginning being related to the carry option we can do in the Abomination chase. If you weren't aware, you'll actually be able to have an option to piggyback another player, so you don't have to do the chase yourself, in case you have anxiety issues or you just don't feel up for it. It's really considerate that Zeal would think of something like this, especially since there's younger demographics that play with their siblings. And for the second portion of this badge, there's a lot of speculation pertaining to this, so let's come back to it in a bit. And as for the first portion of this badge, this is getting another 5 out of 5 Fuwadis. Next up, we have Like Nothing Ever Happened. I'm going to fill in the blanks for you guys. So it says, use a defibrillator to revive another player, or be revived by another player. I think the title is enough to understand the sentiment behind this. Like nothing ever happened. Like you never died. The defibrillator is an item that's been announced for a while, being able to revive a teammate if their body is still accessible. It will also help you on your badge runs, since it won't count as a death if revived by the defibs. It's been highly suggested that this item will also get a badge. So with that, I'm giving this one another 5 Fuwadis. Moving on. Now, the water is getting a bit murky. The next few badges are purely speculation on my end, due to not having that much information known about them. But as for the next badge we're talking about, excuse me, I'd say I know enough to make some pretty good presumptions. It's getting late. This is a badge that for some reason, unlike the rest of the recently added badges, is represented by A60's eyes. Now, the description says go to bed. Okay, stay with me here, but who else says something similar? That's right, Witching Hour does. I don't think it's too far off if we say these two could be related. Zeal also mentioned Witching Hour was reused for the hunt, somehow possibly being used from the main game. We also have this from Desmond, saying that it was the same name and description as the Red Herring badge that originally teased Witching Hour, and it was also posted a week before the other new badges. And the placement on the badge wall also implies that it could be a challenge badge. So, 3 Fuwadis out of 5. I don't know. Next, we have a pretty somber one. Salvation. This badge in particular, I've seen the most speculation about, and that is being the badge we get for destroying Painter. As for me, I can see the correlation, especially with the actual definition of salvation, being the preservation or deliverance from harm, ruin, or loss. We already know the fate unraveling before Painter and Sebastian. Once the black site eventually becomes up and running again, Sebastian will either be found and detained, or found and put out of his misery. There's not really a realistic way Sebastian could get them out of this situation, and maybe us as the player sees this as a way to stop Painter from seeing this outcome himself. Honestly, from this one alone, I'll give this another 3 out of 5, just for how f***ed up this could be. No one has even talked about the potential cutscene we could get from destroying Painter. Not a single thing about the speculation on this end. We don't truly know how Sebastian will act when we do this. All we know is that Sebastian will become enraged by this act. Let's move on before this gets a little too dark. Next one, I am totally spitballing here, stick to the script. I'm just saying this ahead of time, 1 out of 5 Fuwadis on this one. I have literally zero clue what this could be. It could potentially be another painter badge. I've seen a couple people say that, but honestly, without a description, this badge in particular could mean a lot of things, especially with Roblox recently putting out an update where you can choose where badges are next to each other. The fact that this badge is also grouped right next to the Salvation and AI Slop, this could heavily imply it's related. But without further information, I honestly don't know. Let's get on to the final badge. Effective Motivator. Right off the bat, you'll notice the similarities between this badge and Sewer Creature, having both their descriptions be the same. From what we knew before the badges were released, only Abomination and Searchlights were going to be added. Could this potentially be another grand encounter not yet disclosed to us? In my honest opinion, yeah. I wholeheartedly believe this will be a new grand encounter we may have not seen coming. And as for the title, Effective Motivator, a certain phrase comes to my mind. That being, fear is an effective motivator. And what are two things that have been teased to be fear-based and also being worked on? The Crooked and Slender Man. The chances of either of these being worked in before the overhaul would be absolutely insane, especially with Slender Man in particular. We've seen work being done towards Slender Man's grand encounter before, and a lot of its stuff has already been done. And the Crooked especially, being basically confirmed to have a grand encounter before the overhaul actually happens. And once again, the badge placement being right next to the other grand encounter badges, I mean, need I say more? I cannot wait to see what it is, especially since we know basically nothing about this, other than the badge title giving us a good hint on what this could be, especially with the fact that we could possibly not even know what this is. This could be something completely different than the Crooked or Slender Man. This could be something all new together. Very, very excited about this one. 6 Fuwadis out of 5. I'm very confident. Concluding this video, these badges give us a really good look into the future of this update, especially with hiding some awesome stuff that could potentially be coming down later the line. This dev team always has tricks up their sleeves, and honestly, who knows exactly how much they're hiding. We could get some really big surprises during this update, some stuff I'm sure none of you were actually expecting. And don't forget about the documents too. They'll definitely be holding some lore that we didn't even think about. I'm especially excited for the Reveries document. Let me know in the comments your guys' ideas on what these badges could be. And oh yeah, rare room hunting is possibly not dead. Zeal just streamed the other day making another gambling room where we'll be able to play blackjack. We don't know exactly if this is coming to the actual game or it's going to be a separate thing. But from what I saw in the live stream, it is laid out like a regular pressure room. And also, blackjack is basically the only card game I know how to play pretty well. So this will be fun. I can't wait for that. But yeah, that's all for today. Worth the wait part 1 soon. Be very patient. There's definitely something coming very soon. And as always, I'd like to thank my members, Junebugs, Sayu, Scops, Methia, and the person on a cloud. Thank you guys so much. Anyways, that's all for now. I plan on making a trailer dissection video whenever that drops. So hopefully that'll be soon. See you guys later. Bye bye.